Thank you for joining me. If you have your roller, go grab your big foam roller. And today I'm going to be using the two, either one or two. If you've got two, that's great, but one will be just fine too. But the pinky ball, and we're going to be focusing this foam roller class on the upper body and traps and how to use the roller, but also how to really dig in with the ball. If you don't have a pinky ball, grab a tennis ball, grab a lacrosse ball, whatever density you need is fine. You're gonna know what's best for you, so definitely go grab whichever of those is best. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time rolling out the upper back, the upper body, focusing on the traps, the rhomboids, and the muscles, kind of the headache muscles. We're gonna hit into those today. So keep those close by, and let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start with the foam roller perpendicular, so about just below the scapula is where we want to start with the foam roller today. So the other thing that you can do too, just to keep any tension out of your neck, you can support your head with your hands. So go ahead and hold that, and you're just going to lift those hips and slowly roll the upper back along the roller. There's a couple things you can do here. You can shift to one side. If you do that, just make sure you shift to the other side as well. And then just slowly, it's like one vertebrae at a time, rolling up the roller to hit the upper back here. Oh, yeah, I feel that. So a couple things too, in addition to switching side to side, if you can hyperextend over the roller, that's going to put more pressure, but it's also going to get that mobility in the upper back. So if you feel locked and you can't physically bend that way, this is a good, safe way to practice that hyperextension over the roller. So I'm just going to lean into that. Again, I'm supporting my head with my hands. And I can just feel how it doesn't want to go that way. And I know that I'll feel so much better once it does. So breathe with me. That's it. It's starting to loosen. I can feel it going farther. You guys feel that? So good, that big range of motion back over the roller. Okay, then we're gonna roll a little bit more, so I'm gonna wiggle down just a tad more. And now I'm gonna start to get into the upper traps by my neck. So I'm still supporting my head, but I can really feel that. So again, I'm just kind of rolling forward and back. If it feels better to roll side to side, give that a shot. I'm okay with that. Listen to your body. It's gonna know what you need to roll, what you need to stretch to help loosen this up. Okay, and then we're gonna take it so that the roller is right underneath our neck. One of my all-time favorites. We do this one a lot. But it just helps hit where those traps attach at the base of your skull. Rocking your head from side to side. And if you find a hot spot, hold on it. Stay there. You don't have to keep moving. I'm just shifting around trying to find something that's super, super tight. So one thing you can do here is drop those shoulders down away from your ears. We have a tendency to want to raise them, and that tightens those muscles. So when we're stretching it, if you can drop that down, that deepens it even more. And now I really feel that. Ouch. Yep, and I'm going to go to the other side. Drop my shoulder down. All right there. Breathe into that when you find those hot spots. That's it. That's so good. Okay, now we're gonna switch to the little ball. So grab your ball. I'm gonna move my roller out of the way. And the thing that's great about the ball is that you can really dig in. You can get right next to the vertebrae and you can get right in between the ribs. So you can hit all of that connective tissue that's right there. So I'm gonna do both. Again, if you only have one, that's fine. We'll just make sure we do both. And I'm gonna wiggle a little bit closer so you can see me. So I'm gonna stick both of the pinky balls right on either side of my spine. I'm gonna actually hold my head here so you can kind of see that. And then just, ouch. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna breathe and try to just let those muscles that are pushing into that pinky ball just try to relax, because that is way tight. Oh my goodness. Again, trying to apply that pressure just slowly, gently. I have both of them right there. So on either side of my spine, right by my scapula, the low end of my scapula. And then I'm gonna shift just a little bit, just wiggle a little. Oh, taking it up, those rhomboids. And the muscles that attach right along your spine all the way, they're called erector spinae muscles. This helps hit that too. I'm gonna take mine just a little wider. So I'm closer to each shoulder blade now. Oh, wow. Sometimes a headache can manifest right there at the base of your head, but what's causing the problem is lower in our back. So sometimes we think it might be the upper traps when really it's middle or low traps. So if I can teach you how to stretch those out and how to help loosen that up, that can take pressure up at the top. It's amazing how getting lower can affect all the way up and all the way down. So with using that little ball, whichever one you want, the tennis ball, there's no way I could do a lacrosse ball. That would be way too intense today, but this pinky ball is just enough to have that love-hate relationship. Oh. So I just put my head on the floor to help take pressure off my mid-back. That's just kind of a sneaky way. I don't want to say cheating, but it just helps. It's not as intense. So if I lift that back up, I have all that, the weight of my upper body really pushing into that ball. But already it's starting to go. It's starting to release. It's working. So keep rolling. Find those spots. And if you're doing one side, finish the one side and then go do the other side. That's okay too. Always have to do both sides. I can't ever say that enough. Even if the pain manifests on one, we always have to do both. I'm gonna roll down just a little. I had to get off that spot. That was crazy painful. So here we go again. Rolling back up. Now here I just lifted my hips up to give even more pressure, which is a good thing because it made it that much more intense to help stretch it out that much faster. But that's way more intense. Oh. The other thing too when you're rolling with the ball is it'll move, it'll shift, and sometimes it can be hard to stick those hot spots. So kind of play with it. Even just rolling your shoulders or moving them up and down like that right there, I feel huge where the ball's pushing into my back. So good. Just elevate and drop the shoulders. Oh, right there. And again, on my left side, I feel it a lot. It's zinging down my arm, which tells me I have a big muscle impingement on that side. So I'm going to keep moving that shoulder up and down and stick it when I can find that sore spot. But for you at home, keep moving, keep rolling, keep moving that ball around underneath your back. So again, I'm on the pinky ball today. You can use a tennis ball, grab your lacrosse ball, whatever is intense enough to be effective, but pain-wise you can handle because it can sometimes be a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to move the pinky ball up
right up to my upper trap. So I have it tucked. Now the best way to hit this is to go up into a bridge. So I'm going to lift my hips off the floor, and from here I'm going to move my arms up and down. Holy cow. So I'm going to look straight up just to keep the alignment for my upper body as I move my arms. And that ball is just pressing so good. That's it. Keep moving. If you want to take the arms out to the side, just that slightly different range of motion with the ball right there at your traps can hit it just enough to bring that awareness and go, wow. And if you feel the ball slipping out, go ahead and fix it. You can adjust it. And if you start to feel your legs getting a workout, that's okay too. I'm all right with that. It's good for the legs, the glutes, the hamstrings, quads. But just moving those arms, feeling that scapula move around the ball, which can be way more intense because it can get into much smaller spots on our back. And like I said, it can get between the ribs, can get right up behind the scapula. So this time what I'm going to do is take my arms across the body. We do this one on the roller. And when your arms go across, it opens the scapula, it spreads them apart. So from here, I can really, right there, that didn't take long, get in behind those, where those muscles attach underneath the scapula. And if you want to make it more intense, lift up into that bridge. I'm going to stay right here for a minute. And again, make sure you're doing both sides. If you only have one ball, make sure you're going back and forth between both. Breathing into it. Right there. But I can feel it starting to release. The ball is moving underneath my back. It's great. In a painful kind of way. So again, if it's too much to have the hips in the air, go ahead and bring them back down. That's fine. I just like tonight that intensity on my upper back. It's really good. It's a feel-good pain. But that is the beauty of foam rolling at home, is you get to choose. You get to decide what intensity, what density of the ball, how intense you need it on that muscle group. And that can change from day to day, depending on what you did, how you slept, what workout or what cardio you did. It can totally be different every single day. So again, just keep moving around. If any of you have sore shoulders, take the ball right underneath that shoulder. So I'm going to move this one out. So with it under my shoulder, I'm just going to manipulate my arm to find a hot spot with the ball. And then when you do, just stay on it. Just hold. Take it a little lower. You can get into that rotator cuff a little bit. Yeah, ouch. Right there. By moving your palm or the hand around, that can change what you stretch underneath the shoulder. Really good. The ball is such a good tool. And you can do this on the roller. So if you have the roller perpendicular to the body, you can do this as well. It just, that ball gets those muscles so much faster. So I'm just wiggling out a little bit more. There it is. Okay, now I have to switch sides. So I'm going to swing around and do the same thing over here. So I'm going to put the ball underneath that shoulder. And then, yep, there we go. Get into that rotator cuff a little bit. And just start, moving that arm around. Finding that manipulation to hit the sore spot. There we go. Keep breathing. Yeah, that's a good one. And I'm just going to circle my arm. Take that one back up under. Oh, wow. But again, anything we can release through the shoulder and around the scapula, it'll help take pressure off of the neck muscles, off of the headache muscles. So the more I can teach you to do this at home, the more you can help when you start to feel a headache like that coming on, or even just tension or stress right there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the ball again, and I'm going to put both of them back up right at the traps again, so high up on my neck, and we're going to do that bridge one more time. So going up into that bridge, move those arms over your head, and then back down. So already from the first side that we did, this is so much better. It's still painful at spots, but way, way better. So I'm going to move mine down just a little. If you need to move the ball to the side or more towards your spine, listen to your body. It'll tell you where those need to go. And you'll find too, if you have one side that hurts way more than the other, that imbalance there, to work on that, it's good awareness to bring and find and identify and say, okay, I'm going to give that side a little bit more work, a little bit more stretch. I'm going to circle my arms around right there. My one arm. Oh, yeah, owie, so great. So I just took the ball closer to my spine and closer and farther up my neck. So be careful when you get into this stuff. You may not need to lift the hips up. Sometimes keeping the hips down, but just moving your arms is enough to help stretch that out. And maybe the tennis ball is a better option as you get higher up on the neck. Just that little extra give. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to use my hands to help hit those spots in my neck. So I'm using my hands to just give a little extra pressure. Kind of like the roller under your head. I'm just rocking my head from ear to ear along the ball. And that feels so good. Take it a little lower. A little lower. So again, just kind of moving around, finding where it feels best for you. But just moving the arms in different directions, different ranges of motion, are what help you find those hot spots. So coming up, oh, it's like I can feel the blood flow going up to my head. It's so good. So stretching, foam rolling, myofascial release with the pinky ball, your tennis ball, the lacrosse ball, and a little bit on the roller. Thank you for joining me. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and definitely share with anybody who you think might benefit from these stretches. Thank you again. Until next time, keep on rolling.